absolutely share the stream.
Okay, think that worked. So I've been frantically trying to troubleshoot and find out what's going on. So
yeah,
hopefully
it's
now
always tech.
Yeah, all my power went out the other day, and it's left everything working a bit strangely. And yes, we are definitely live now. So sorry,
Yahoo!
everybody. We've been yapping away. I will post this in the. I will post the start of this video in the comments later on.
Have we had everyone with us during that time?
I don't think we have. I haven't seen any comments coming through from
why
either
don't
channel.
we could
Shall we
just start
recap?
again.
Is
that
okay?
You can even start again if you like.
I'm so sorry, everybody who's been waiting. So sorry. Well, we've been chatting quite nicely, so now we're going to start again because I don't think we were live on either channel, and I've got ticks across the board now, so we should be good.
That's awesome.
Oh, the fun and games. Sure, it's not Monday again. Is anyone else feeling Monday vibes?
Yes.
Hi, Loki Love friends. Welcome back to our adventure in the lead up to Loki Loves Inktober 2023. And I've got the beautiful Cathy with me from Remember the Wild, who has been doing an amazing job getting the prompts and doing research and all of these wonderful things behind the scenes, because it is pretty hard getting a challenge like this together, especially at the level that we want to be a support to everybody and inform everybody as well. How's it going, Cathy?
I am loving it, and I just need to let everyone know that they should be seriously impressed with how much work Vanda puts in behind the scenes, because really I'm just helping out here and there with some research and some photos and things. And Loki Loves Inktober is a massive thing that Vanda puts on every year to support environmental charities in Australia. And I think the work you do is absolutely incredible. And Remember the Wild is so grateful to be joining you again this year. The first time that we got to do with you was just an absolute dream, and what we love is bringing new audiences to environmental engagement through the medium or through art. It's such a tactile, beautiful way to learn, and it's so engaging when we're creating art together. So we're really stoked, and I can't wait to share a bit more about the challenge with everyone.
Yay. Thank you so much, Cathy. That's so kind of you to say. And I mean, you do this work, and you and the rest of the team at Remember the Wild do this work every day and do so much to connect us with the beautiful nature and understand the biodiversity we have in this amazing country. So thank you so much for you and the team for everything that you do, and for being my partner in Loki Loves, because 2021 was phenomenal, and this year is going to be just as good, if not better and bigger. And I love the things that we've got going on this year. So it's really, really different. So up on the screen is our prompts for the year. How amazing are those? We have 31 incredible prompts. Well, 30, because we're doubling up on one, because this little birdie is just too cute not to double up on. And we've spent a lot of time going through this. The whole team's been working on it, trying to come up with an approach, as well as prompts that are going to entertain and titillate you and get you excited and get your creative juices flowing. So I'll hand over to Cathy to share a little bit about the prompts and the theme.
Yeah, sure. So each year with Inktober, obviously there's a chance to pick a theme, and obviously for Loki Loves Inktober, those themes will always be around Australia's nature. So when Vanda and I got together at the start of this year's challenge, we really wanted to showcase a few stories that have been very close to our heart over the last year. And so we decided to ask our friend Millie Formby from Wing Threads if she'd like to partner up with us and help us share the stories of Australia's incredible shorebirds. So what we have put together this year is a prompt list that will help us learn and create a whole lot of different Australian shorebirds, but not only our shorebirds, but some of their prey items, their environments, and the threats they face and how we can help them. And so I guess you might like to know a little bit about what shorebirds are. They are a bunch of amazing little birds they tend to have quite long legs for their bodies, quite short tails, and often quite big eyes, and they hang out in wetlands. And one of the features that people notice about them most is that even though the rest of their body is quite similar across all different shorebirds, they tend to have very different bills, and that kind of gives a hint to what they eat. So Australia is home to a large number of these wetland-loving shorebirds, and some of those, 37 of them in fact, are migratory. So that means that they spend a really large part of their year, actually, all of their non-breeding season, they spend that over here with us. And then they disperse to different parts of the world to breed for a few months each year. So for a lot of our migratory shorebirds, those are ones that head up to the Arctic Circle, which is incredible. Some of our other ones head to New Zealand and Japan and to a few other different places across Oceania as well. So we've got some incredible globe-trotting shorebirds. We've also got resident shorebirds like the hooded plover, which you might be familiar with, those little black-headed plovers that run around on our surf beaches and that we try to protect by not letting our dogs chase them on beaches or driving over their nests and things like that. Another resident shorebird you might be familiar with is the masked lapwing, those ones with the big cheese triangle on their face. They are another Australian shorebird that has adapted very well to urban environments, and we would definitely be celebrating them in this challenge. And so when it comes to shorebirds and wetlands, that's a huge topic, and we wanted to try and tell some discrete stories within that topic. So what we've done is we've split up Loki Loves Inktober prompt list into the 4 weeks, so 4 themes for 4 weeks. And this is something that's very new to us and it's really exciting. So each week we'll focus on a different theme / environment for our shorebirds. And we're going to start off with some of the ones that we would be most familiar with on our beaches, the ones that are resident in Australia and that we can all protect pretty much every day, especially throughout summer. Then we're going to go on to tell some stories about our migratory species. So we will start with estuaries, which are our coastal wetland environments that are seriously important to shorebirds throughout the year, both resident and migratory. And then we're going to step off to Broome, which is going to be our exemplar of the mudflat environments in Australia that are so vital, particularly to our Northern Hemisphere breeding shorebirds that basically will spend weeks before their epic journeys just fattening up on as many worms and shrimp and bivalves as they can at these really important mudflat wetlands, such as Broome on the west coast and Toondah Harbour on the east coast. And they have to eat as much as they can there or they won't make the distance to their breeding grounds. And for a lot of them, that can be tens of thousands of kilometres. And then we thought this year, even though we tend to focus on Australian environments, we would actually follow the migratory shorebirds up to their Arctic tundra breeding grounds and explore that as well, because obviously these are birds without borders, so they spend time here, they spend time up north, and understanding a bit about their whole life cycle and how we can protect them across different countries is really important. And it means we get to see them in their breeding plumage, which is really exciting because a lot of our migratory shorebirds spend their time here in their non-breeding plumage, so they're often like a soft grey, brown on the back, white on the front, and pretty nondescript, a lot of people would say. Not me, because I think they're gorgeous. But when they head to their breeding seasons, a lot of them take on these incredible reds and golds and blacks, and they are just simply incredible to look at. And we thought it'd be a great opportunity to paint or draw some of them in their incredible breeding plumage. So, and Vanda might like to tell you a little bit about our hero bird and why we are illustrating them in both their non-breeding and breeding plumage.
Our hero bird, the red-necked stint, is a gorgeous little bird. It is absolutely tiny. We did go into a little bit about it last week. So if
Mm,
you've heard it before, you know a bit about it already. But it's about the size of a Tim Tam. It is absolutely adorable. It's so sweet with the most fantastic markings on it. They're going to be great. Even the non-breeding has beautiful markings
mm,
across it. They're going to be so great to create. And the joy of it is we get to paint it, create it as non-breeding plumage on day 1, and then on day 31 we're going to do breeding plumage, where these
yeah,
beautiful reds and oranges go through the feathers, and it's quite
mm,
incredible. I was watching a documentary on how those feathers change leading into the breeding season, and I never think of feathers being able to change in that way, so that was
yeah.
completely fascinating. Yeah. The other wonderful thing about it is this little bird will fly 4 miles.
Mhm.
It flies on average between about 5,000 miles, 5,000 K, swatched into English all of a sudden, sorry.
Yeah.
5,000 5,000 K between feeding spots,
Mhm.
and it will fly, 25 K straight to get to its breeding area. So it's a proper global traveler. It's got all of its badges, all of its in-flight meals are always ready and laid out. It knows what's going on. But they'll fly and they won't rest. They won't stop to rest. They won't fully sleep during this ride
Mm.
either. They'll fly ahead and they'll just turn off half of their brain and just keep their wings flapping. And that'll take a micro nap, and then they'll do the same with the other side. So all they are basically wings and a small brain just flying for days and days. So they really do deserve our love and admiration.
Absolutely, they're incredible. And one of the things that we're really excited about this year is that for each of those 4 themes, we're going to have a special, super casual, super comfortable drop in drawing session. So a live webinar, kind of like this, but with one or more of our artists. So Vanda and Millie and Genevieve. I'll be there trying as
Thank
well.
you.
And each week a different scientific expert. So I was going to try and whip up, or I did whip up a little slide for this, but it's not worth getting out now. But I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about who's going to join us, if that's all right, Vanda.
That would be fantastic. I'm so excited about this.
Awesome. Well, so in the first week when we're looking at beach nesting birds, we've got Dr. Sonia Sanchez coming from BirdLife Australia. She has been a projects officer on the beach nesting birds team for a long time and has spent a lot of time working on the hooded plover recovery project and organising citizen science things around that and engagement and doing monitoring of just disturbance and behaviour for those species. So really excited to quiz her about what it's like watching hoodies all day and how we can get involved with their protection. The second week, Dr. Rowan Mott is going to come and speak to us about estuaries. So he is a lifelong bird watcher and ecologist with a focus on birds. And the last 2 years he spent tracking the foraging and breeding behaviour of a whole range of wetland birds in the Coorong. And the Coorong is the mouth of the Murray. It's a huge estuary, vitally important to many of both our migratory shorebirds and our resident wetland birds. So I know, that Vanda and I are pretty excited about talking to him about the ecology of how those estuaries work and why these tiny little chironomid larvae and things like that are so important. Then in week 3, we'll have Millie Formby herself from Wing Threads. She has spent many seasons banding and catching shorebirds up on the Broome coast. And she's just spent the last year flying around Australia teaching people about them. So I'm really excited to get her to come along. She's going to teach us how to draw a shorebird, and she's going to tell us all about what they're up to when they're on those mud flats. And then the last week, we're lucky to have someone who's recently been up to northern Alaska to spend a season with the shorebirds. She's been helping out with some monitoring up there. This is Dr. Misha Jackson. She's another shorebird ecologist. And I just can't wait to hear her field stories from up north and find out what our birds get up to when they head so far from our shores. So we have locked in our guests and we're just tying down the final date details for those webinars. But there'll be one roughly each week for all of Inktober. And any that you miss, we will be posting online. But yeah, we'd love everyone to join and not only draw with us as we draw one of these prompts, but take the opportunity to ask all of these experts about their favorite subjects. And yeah, just get together and learn as much as we can about shorebirds.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I love hearing experts speak. You know, it's been like we've got people that are out in the field that know these birds firsthand and have seen it, everything going on firsthand as well. And they're going to share their insights and their knowledge with us. And it's that chance to learn from someone who has that deep understanding and passion. And I think it's one of my loves in life is to listen to people speak who are passionate about what they do and what
Me
they
too.
work with, whether it be an animal or anything else. It's just so, it gets me so excited and wanting to learn more. And then you've got their perspective as well, that can be so empowering to be able to take on that information and then, you know, make a choice to be of action in some way, whether it's writing to your MP, watching a documentary, whatever it may be. It always drives me to learn more. And I think everybody in this community, and I do love you all, Loki Loves Inktober community. You're all absolutely amazing and hold a very special place in my heart. But I think that we can all appreciate how wonderful it is to get that information and then celebrate it through creativity. It ups the enthusiasm I feel that we all have for the prompt that we're trying to create.
Yeah, definitely. I seriously can't wait. It's been a while since I tried to draw anything like this. So I'm really excited. I wondered, Vanda, if you have any, like, are there any prompts you're specifically looking forward to or any that you think are going to be more challenging?
Screen back up.
Because I can see heaps that I'm like, yes, can't wait to draw.
Yeah,
And actually,
there are so many.
When we were building this list, it was a real fight to try and make sure it was all encompassing enough and not just all the birds that I wanted to draw.
Yeah. Well, I kind of hit you up straight off the bat going like, I really want to draw these birds if we can.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't always pan out like that. And I love the way that we've got that theme. I think it's a really nice way of getting a good understanding of each of those 4 areas in a week. So it's going to be fantastic. So there's so many. The beachstone curlew is fantastic.
Yes.
I
Yeah, their bill.
absolutely love that face. Yeah, really great markings on there. Um, Australian sandpiper, such a
Yeah.
weird, cute little creature. I think we're going to get fantastic illustrations for that one, and hopefully someone I can't do this well, but hopefully someone out there has a good sense of humor and is able to do a really funny one, because I think they lend themselves to that really well. They're like little sand fleas kind of things, but
Yeah.
they proper hot. Yeah, you've got to see it. You'll see it. You'll see the video that I'll put soon, because I've been hunting for a really good one.
Oh, awesome.
Wimpole I'm really excited about as well. They're awesome. Ruddy turnstone, amazing markings on the ruddy turnstone. They're going to be fantastic. I love soldier crabs. I'm like little kids crabs at the beach.
Yeah.
I just want to follow them around and see what they're doing and what's going on. And soldier crabs are so bright and chunky, and they're going to be fantastic prompts to draw.
Yeah.
There's so much. Eastern curlew, I'm really excited about as well. That's a big bird.
Yeah.
I did play with the idea of trying to do them life size this year, and then I had a look
Oh
at
my
some of the
gosh.
sizes, and I'm like, no, I'm not up for doing that in one day.
Might work for the redneck stint and the soldier crab, but
Yeah,
yeah, maybe not the beachstone curlew and the,
that's so
and the
right.
Far Eastern curlew.
But yeah, it's going
Cool.
to be, I think we've got a great selection there. Tell me a couple that you're really excited about.
Well, there's some. I mean, yeah, I'm really excited about the beachstone curlew too. I think they're an incredible bird and just like so distinctive.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about just some of these more understated shorebirds, like maybe like in their non-breeding plumage, like the common green
Yeah.
shank and Terex sandpiper and things like that. I'm actually really excited to try to kind of see the nuances of their grays and things like that. I mean, I'm going to try this year to do all the days, which means that I'm going to set myself a very low bar of a 5-minute drawing each day. So I'm not actually going to be able to render some of those
Yeah.
details, but
Maybe
it's
you
going
can
to,
always pull out an item, like you can pull out a feather and just do a
yeah,
quick render of a feather or
yeah.
an
Well, it'll
eye or a
just,
beak or a foot.
yeah. And I just think it gives you, it'll give me another way to look and to look more closely. And maybe I'll do these sketches and then revisit when I can. And so, yeah, I'm excited about some of the more simple ones. I'm I'm excited about the sandhopper and some of the invertebrates, but I know I'm going to be challenged by drawing them because I've always loved drawing birds, so I kind of know where their different bits go together. But yeah, I'm excited to give some of these shrimps and things a go, and then some of the like more esoteric's not the word I want, but these broader themes like climate change and the East Asian Australasian flyway that the shorebirds use. Um, I'm going to find those challenging, but I'm also interested to explore how I can kind of recreate those themes through art. Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. It's going to be tough. I mean, I'm not great with birds. I've drawn a couple, but birds aren't really my thing. I haven't figured out how to do like paint them so that it kind of
Mm,
works well for me. And because I'm self-taught, everything's just time. It just takes time to learn
mm.
things. But I reckon by the end of October, I'm going to be pretty sweet when it comes to drawing
Well,
birds.
that's the thing about Inktober, right? Like it's
Yeah,
practicing a skill every day, and I know lots of people use Inktober to get into drawing and art and things like that. And so, yeah, definitely want to encourage anyone who thinks they're not good at art or who's been told they're not good at art or is just too shy to try it to give it a go because you'd be surprised how your observation and drawing skills improve with daily practice. It's not, you know, some people do have a talent for art, but most
yeah.
artists, it's actually just practice.
Well, 2018, I didn't think I could draw, and I did my very first Inktober, and I think I got through about 15 or 16 prompts, which was pretty good. Because I was so scared of making a mark on the page, I would just
Yeah.
freeze. But
Hmm.
then after a few days, you kind of get over yourself a little bit and go like, nobody has to see this. This can just be my personal thing if I want.
Yeah.
I want to see it. But I did it and I got through it and I was really shocked by what I could do. And
Yeah.
then 5 years later, I'm an artist. I get
And you,
people saying to me that you can create these incredible things, but I'm
yeah.
still basically doing the same trick of just tricking myself into just doing it and getting on with it and just
Mm,
seeing what I can create. And that is
yeah.
so much of the fun of Loki Loves Inktober. I think Inktober as a whole is a wonderful challenge. It gets
Yeah.
you out of your funk. If you've not created for ages and want to get back into it, there's always a list. There's so many lists out there that you can just have so much fun. And
Mm,
what's wonderful is we're going to have a little bit of crossover with Birdtober, and a
yeah.
few of the artists that are joining in are going to be doing crossover or mashup lists as well. So I think we're up for some really, really fun storytelling and art throughout this.
Hmm. Yeah,
Leakage,
definitely.
leakage, leakage.
It's very, very exciting. And one of the things that we thought we might give a go, or that Genevieve, Remember the Wild's Artist in Residence, is going to give a go, is kind of drawing dioramas for each of these weeks. So that's another thing that people could try, is sketching all of the ones for a week on the same
Yeah.
page, and or cutting them out and arranging them into a collage, because we have themed these so that they're animals and plants and things that you will find together. So yeah, I really want to give that a go. Maybe by doing my 5-minute drawings and then cutting them up and sticking them together, we'll see.
That's it. Or just taking a photo of them and putting them together
Yeah,
digitally. That's always a really good trick as well.
yeah.
I was playing around. Oh, so sorry. Um, in our fake start that we had earlier, I apologize for Genevieve not being here. She's got caught up with work, so I'm so sorry. But I have got a lovely little video that I'll share onto my socials tomorrow with some of her tips for
Mm.
joining in the art challenge. Yeah, I love the idea of doing a diorama, but with watercolors, so much can go wrong because
Yeah.
that's my medium. I'm a watercolor girl, and
Hmm.
so much can go wrong. So I think I'm going to do mine individually. I'm just going to pick a size to work with, and then I might paint a background to go with it, and then put them together digitally afterwards. See how they come together. I'm really bad. I make all of these plans for Inktober, but until
Hmm.
day one kicks off, everything's open. I don't set anything in stone
Yeah.
because goals are fantastic, but also they can stop you moving forward at times. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
well, I know I want to keep it loose and fresh this year. That's the drawing. I'm not going to worry about hiding my drawing either. I'm just going to paint over it. And I really need to loosen up. I'm very
Yeah.
tight and very slow. So this is going to be a great opportunity for me to work on my goal of being faster and looser and getting that inside imposter to quieten down a little bit more when I'm
Hmm.
trying to do that. So they're
Yeah.
my main goals for it. And I'm going to give myself about half an hour,
Hmm.
knowing that it will probably push out to an hour quite easily on some days. But I'm going to give myself about half an hour to get the drawing down and just get some of that painting in because I think that
Hmm.
time's going to help keep it loose.
Yeah. I think that's great advice for anyone because I definitely worry when I start challenges like this that, well, I don't worry. I start them all guns blazing and then I don't finish them. And it's this kind of all or nothing thinking that stops
Yeah.
us a lot in our creative processes. And so that's where that's why I'm planning this year to try and start really small. So, because I know, even if I say I can't, I have to be able to have 5 minutes a day to do a drawing.
Yeah.
And often what happens when you take that 5 minutes is that you find you stay there for longer and really enjoy it. So I am going to do my best to try and do every day this year. That's not something we necessarily recommend for everyone because really we just want people to get involved
Yeah.
at their time, the time that they can spend, the level of what they want to get involved. The most important thing is creating together in a journey that helps us all learn about something really important in our Australian environment, and that allows us to become champions for nature through learning a bit more and being able to share these stories with others. Because a big part of why we are creating art for conservation is that art is just a um, really powerful vector for emotion, for change, for storytelling, for idea transfer. And when people see that you've taken the effort to draw something or paint something, they're gonna know that you cared enough about it and you're interested enough to take that time. And so I think it's a really good way to act as nature champions by sharing our pictures with everyone else, and maybe act as art champions by showing that not everything that goes to social media has to be perfect, because that's something we're
Very
all
much
guilty
so.
of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lose that perfection. I mean, perfection doesn't work for me in art, mainly
Mm-hmm.
for the reason my art's not set in stone. It's not, I suppose I'm still finding my style and my way through.
Mm-hmm.
But perfection is the killer of creativity. That's my
Yep.
saying. Um, and it's true. The more that you try and make something perfect or look like someone else's, it's just not going to happen. Things are going to go wrong and you're going to feel worse and worse and worse. And we don't want any of you feeling like that. So if you get caught
Mm.
up or you're tied up in any way, shoot me a DM or a message. I'm here for you. So don't worry. But
Yep.
yeah, let go of all ideas of perfection because there is no perfection.
That's
We can
right.
look around in nature and see there's nothing perfect.
Yeah.
So we don't have to be perfect either.
No. Yeah. What this all is just us all creating together. And I think one
Yeah.
of the things that Vanda and I are really excited about is just seeing everyone's works that they're happy to put up, sharing our own works, and just doing something together. Um, yeah, really excited about that.
Very much so. And inspiration. So if you don't
Hmm.
know what to do for your prompt for the day, the best thing to do is jump on your favorite social media channel, go to the hashtag Loki Loves Inktober 2023 and have a look at what everyone else has been
Yeah.
doing. Or go check out your favorite artists, see if they've drawn birds or drawn shells or drawn anything like
Yeah.
that before, and see what kind of things they decided to take out of it for focus. So
Mm.
there's lots of inspiration out there. I'll be sharing some tips because I need to figure out how to draw shorebirds. So as I'm doing that, I will share those tips next week. So for anyone who's a beginner here, and thank you for admitting that, Bronwyn, that was very brave of you as well. You've got nothing to be worried about. We're all in this together, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we'll all be sharing our tips. And I know Genevieve will be sharing some tips on drawing shorebirds as well, heading into the challenge.
Yep, definitely. And I had something to say, but it's completely gone. But that's fine. Maybe. Oh, that was it. What we're probably going to wrap up in a couple of seconds. Maybe Vanda's going to give a bit of a lowdown on how to get involved and everything. But what I really love is if everyone could comment on the video post with how they're thinking of getting involved and
Yes.
what kind of goals they might have for this year, and remembering that they don't have to be set in stone. These are just goals for enjoyment, and yeah, maybe the ways that you're thinking about attacking it this year, and which prompt you're most excited to draw. I'd love to hear about those.
I'd love to know about the prompts. I'd love to know who's most excited about which prompts, because then I'll be looking out for your artwork. Okay, so a few different ways to get involved. You can follow me, Loki Loves Art, and Remember the Wild on social media. We'll be posting up prompts every day, and that'll have a bit of info to them. There'll be a photo with it as well. And you can also check my website, lokiloves.com. Go to the menu, go to Loki Loves Inktober 2023, in case you hadn't figured that out yet. And there'll be photos and info all on the page as well. If you'd like some insider info, so you'd like to get some more reference photos, you'd like to get links and some more information, also have the opportunity to jump on some Zooms with me, then you can sign up on my website, and that will get you a Google Drive access, some assets you can share on social media, loads of reference photos, and extra bits and pieces coming up over the next few weeks.
Yep. And we'll get those oh, sorry, I was just going to say it'll also have links to the dates and things for those webinars that we'll be doing each week.
Yeah.
We'll have those organized in the next couple of days, and then we'll pop them up as Facebook events as well, just to make it easy for everyone to get involved. They won't necessarily be on the same day of each week, but hopefully that means more people can get involved.
So I think it's good to mix it up a little bit, and also, we've got to be fair to our experts and scientists that are coming to join us to make sure they can fit it in, because they're all super busy and running around all over the world this time of year.
Definitely.
So with the events and everything else, by the end of this week, we should have pretty much everything laid out. So if there's anything you can't find or you've got any questions, just let me know. I'm in my DMs every day. If you want to have a quick reaction from me, probably the quickest way to get an answer from me is to get hold of me on Instagram, because I'm on there most often and I'll see that the quickest. But I will catch up with everyone, so don't worry. So, getting ready for Inktober, a couple of pointers. Start early. Don't wait till the 1st to start planning. The hardest thing to decide is what materials you're going to do and what your kind of goal is going to be. So for me, my goal is going to be staying loose. I'm going to use the materials that I usually use. And I'll be adding ink in, because I always do, because Inktober. So I always like to have a little bit of ink in here and there rather than it just being watercolor. But start a little bit early. Stop a few days beforehand. Have a look at what art materials you've got around. What have you got in the house that you can use? Do you have to go and get something new? I quite like the idea of trying to repurpose stuff or reuse stuff that we haven't used for ages, or revive even.
Yeah.
So that's always fun. As I said before, embrace imperfection. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid that we're an unforgiving community. We will celebrate you regardless of the effort you made, because it's all about just trying to create in some way or another. And if you're a budding photographer out there and you've got great photos of these prompts, feel free to join in by posting your photos. We would absolutely love that. Consistency. So if you set yourself a time goal, it's going to make it easier to be consistent every day.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to do 31 days. There's no rules. It's up to you. But it's nice if you can set yourself a time frame, because then if you do want to create as often as you can, you're going to be able to do that if you've got a time frame kind of set, because life is busy. Things happen.
Mm.
Experiment with styles. Do you want to try something different? Do you want to try a medium? Do you want to try a different approach, a different size? All of these different things can be really empowering for you to add into your goals and see where the month takes you. The joy about Art Challenge is experimentation, right? Experimentation and inspiration. You can be really surprised by the things that inspire you. I thought I'd be more excited by the birds and the prey for this challenge,
Mm.
but some of the praise really got me. I'm reading scientist papers and all kinds of research on them, and it's really got my inspiration flowing.
Mm.
So hopefully that helps with you. And engage with others. We've got a beautiful community here. We've always been super supportive, and I'm pretty on it every day. So if anyone's not being like that, if I haven't seen them first, do let me know. But
Mm.
everyone's super, super
Yeah.
supportive. Engage with the other artists and collaborators and our wonderful partners at Remember the Wild, and just have fun.
Yeah.
And remember to stay open-minded. It's not a competition. There's no winners. We're all winners because we're all going to get to play.
Yeah.
So there's no competition here. So please don't think that someone's doing better than you or worse than you and you need to catch up. There's none of that.
Yeah.
And my last tip for making it a truly memorable art challenge is to reflect and learn. At the end of the month, make a few minutes to sit down, look through all the artworks that you've created, have a think about what you've learned. Will it drive you to action? Will it drive you to create more? Will it drive you to share more of what you've learned through there? Reflect on how it's affected you, how you feel. What emotion do you tie with shorebirds now at the end of the month? And what might it inspire you to go on to do?
Absolutely.
I think that the overarching thing is just have fun, right?
Yeah, definitely. Have fun, get together, do something with your hands, do something that helps you learn, and try something
Yeah,
new. And we'll all do it together.
that's it. I like to drag Gavin, who's my husband, so he has to do it every year, whether he likes it or not. And he gets caught up in the build up anyway. And
Yeah.
then I'll generally have a couple of mates dropping in during the week. So if you're coming around my house in October, you're drawing.
I love that. So good.
Oh dear.
All right.
Okay. Oh, Vicky's excited about the bar-tailed godwit in the
Oh,
curly
yes.
sandpiper. Oh yeah, actually the godwit is fantastic. It's
It's
going to be really
beautiful.
hard to play favorites, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, I love the Bartail Godwit, but I do have a little bit of a thing for the little curly sands. They're so cute and
Yeah.
small. I'm really excited about people seeing the differences in size and shape and stuff between all of these
Yeah.
birds that are really quite closely related. It's
And
so
even down
damn
to the
cute.
feathers, looking at the little intricacies in the feathers
Hmm.
and the shapes of the feathers as well.
Yep,
It's mind blowing.
sure is.
Well, thanks so much for coming along tonight. I really appreciate you chatting with me, and I've just lost all of my words. I really appreciate you chatting with me, Cathy. It's been an absolute treat on a hectic day, and you probably can't tell, but my head's going a little bit wacky with the weather changes, and I am
Mm,
losing all of my words now. But I'm
it's
so
all good.
excited to see you all in October for our
Yeah, absolutely right back at you, Vanda. It's always a pleasure to chat with you, and I just get so much more excited after everyone. And I can't wait for everyone to get involved. Please reach out and let us know on Loki Loves Instagram and Remember the Wild's Instagram or Facebook. We're also on Twitter. We just really want to know who's getting involved and how they're doing it, and maybe you want to get your kids and or your students involved as well. Let us know if you're doing a big group effort, because we'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a class join in last year, and it was fantastic seeing what everybody did.
Yeah.
They just picked 1 or 2 prompts each week and did those, and yeah, it was amazing. And I think it'll be really good fun for families as well. I've got a few friends that are going to be doing it with their kids. Nice little bit of nature education, and then for the beach nesting birds, they're going to go out and check out the beach and see
Oh,
where
that's so
birds
cool.
could be. Yeah.
That's so cool. Well, thank you so much, Vanda, and thank you, everyone. We'll get together again soon.
That's it. I'll be going live next week with all of the subscribers. So if you'd like to get in on that, please sign up. I'll be putting the event out in the next couple of days. And yeah, we'll be back again on the 1st of October for kickoff. So pop that in your calendars. All the events will be out by the end of this week. So you'll be able to pop all of them in your diaries so you don't miss out. Thank you so much for joining us today. Over the moon of, and yeah, just overwhelmed really of all of the lovely messages that have been coming in, and seeing all the people signing up and joining us. It's wow. So I just can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. See you
Thanks
soon.
so much for watching. Bye.
Oh, I'm still here. Bye, everyone.